Hello everyone, my name is Napapon Noimon and today I'm going to present my final project on English 489. The topic of my paper is a postcolonial reading of Asian hate discrimination in contemporary poems. First, let me talk about the Asian hate phenomenon. Asian hate phenomenon happens during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the President Trump called the COVID-19 as Chinese virus. And as a result, many Asians got attacked in America. And here are some of the pictures that I have chosen and I have talked about in my paper in detail. And as you can see, many Asians got attacked. And for this reason, this is why I want to conduct this paper. I want to raise awareness about Asian discrimination and encourage people to take action against Asian hate as much as they do as taking action in Black Lives Matter. And I'm going to be using postcolonialism in analyzing the poems because the main message says that the colonizers view the colony as inferior. And here's the history of Asian hate. It started in 1870s when Western people claimed that Chinese people are taking over their jobs, like in the railway construction and also in the mining. And in 1875, the first immigration law prohibits Asian women because it said Asian women are too seductive for the white men. And then in 1933, the US established a law prohibit the marriage between the two races. And here are the four aspects of post-colonialism I have chosen to analyze the four poems, which are diaspora, when other races feel like they're out of place and want to reclaim their own identity or culture. And the next one is hybridity, is the mix of the culture, language, belief, and the race between the two cultures, and which can empower diversity and stop exoticism. The next one is race. Race is the hierarchization of the races and the distinction between the superior and the inferior. And the last aspect is the Asian romanticism, when the West sees the East as fascinating, exotic, and even seductive, which results in Asian romanticism. Here comes the first poem, which is Healing for the Young Asian Girl by Natalie Nong. And Natalie Nong is an Asian American high school student who expresses her painful feelings and empowered a young girl from white supremacy racism through the poem represented in 10,000 Degree website. And the poem is about the hardship and the painful experiences of the young Asian and Asian American girls who are going through racism, and she wants to empower them to stand up for themselves and be proud of their true identity. The first aspect, which is related to the postcolonialism, is Asian romanticism. So in the poem, Asian girls are portrayed as exotic and seductive. These have a huge negative impact on them mentally and physically. As she says, you will not be playing into that sick stereotype of submissive Asian woman, and to the young Asian girl who feels fetishized and sexualized. And here you can see that Asian women are fetishized for being Asian, and that we are portrayed as submissive and passive women. And she explained the pain and the suffering that the Asian girls has to go through when she makes use of the imagery, when she says to the young Asian girls who want to speak up, but find that your voice get lodged in your throat. As you can see, being able not to speak because the community you're living in and all around the society around you are full of hate and discrimination, so you cannot speak up for yourself. And also simile is used to compare her feeling to drowning, and that the Asian girl cannot help themselves and nobody is going to help you because all the crimes that you see online and also the crimes that is going to happen around you when you live in America. And then she wants to empower and console these girls who are going through the pain when she says, you're not a resource, you're a human being and you deserve to be treated as such. And she also encouraged the girl to express themselves, as she says, allow yourself to feel, to scream, to run, and to heal because you deserve it. One important aspect and very outstanding aspect is that all of the letters are in lowercase. This is the intention of the writer in order to replicate the feeling of the young Asian girls that they are insignificant and they are not being heard. The next poem is Today I Am a Witness to Change by Graham Alexander. So Alexander is a poet, a playwright, and also an author of children's books. And he takes line from the submission to create a community poem. So this poem is going to be a community poem, and he wants to empower those who are in fear and anger and also to motivate people to make this world a better place. So the poem focuses on the Asian hate phenomenon and how badly it affects Asian people, and also encourage Asian people to make a change in order to make this world a better place. So the discriminating action, which portrayed here, here's one powerful and very outstanding line that the speaker says that I want the attack to be called what they are, terrorism. So comparing discrimination to terrorism show how severe the discrimination are, because people, especially Asian and Asian American people, are actually dying, and that is how severe the action of discriminating is portrayed here in this poem. And the impact of Asian people can be seen through this imagery: soft gray hills contrasting over a grieving landscape filled with many frigid hearts. The frigid hearts refers to the white people, and the gray gives you a really gloomy atmosphere which Asian people have to live in. And an Asian American died because of hate. A child lost his mother. Here is a really powerful impact that the Asian people have to live in, because a child lost his mother. And he also empower those through literature, as he gives a list of the books such as the Joy Luck Club, the Hungry Tide, the Perry Lotus, Pachinko, and the Namasaki. These books consist of Asian message and Asians suffering that they have to go through. And by reading through this book, the readers will have sympathy towards Asian, and they will finally take action towards the Asian hates. And the next poem is When I Realized My Friend Was White by Keith Yamashita. So Keith Yamashita is the founder and the chairman of the SY Partners consulting firm, and he explains his childhood while he was growing up in a white neighborhood, and he was discriminated against his friend for being an Asian American. And here are some main message in the poem is that discrimination happens at a very young age from a superficial level of knowledge. And the society actually create the pollution, which is racism in the society themselves, and actually teaches the younger generation to believe without rationale. And for the impact, the speaker have a moment of epiphany or moment of realization when he is different and he does not fit in a society. And symbolism is also used to suggest that the first generation, which is Asian immigrant, they value the white culture and that they accept the discrimination without fighting for equality. The last poem is The Korean American Dream by Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee reveals her desire, which is the main theme here in this poem, to be an American because she is ashamed of being marginalized as an Asian girl. However, in the second half of the poem, she states that she built through her own identity as an Asian American, and that we should be proud of who we are. Here is one stanza, powerful stanza that can see the desire so well, is that I am a dual citizen of two worlds, East and West. I am a Korean who wants to be American. I'm an Asian who wants to be white. However, for the second half of the poem, which is written on the other side of the paper, is the accepting part of her true identity. She compares the process of accepting her own identity to the wabi-sabi, which is the process of appreciating the imperfection. And this actually a metaphor to actually appreciating the imperfection, which is being Asian, which is the process of accepting our true identity to be Asian and be proud about it. And yes, in conclusion, these four poems are portrayed so well about the pains and the sufferings that the victims, Asian and Asian American, has to go through. And also the readers empowers the victims and also encourage the readers to have sympathy towards Asian and Asian Americans so well. And hopefully that studying this universal problem, which is racism, will help the readers become more sympathy towards other human beings, and to make this world a better place for everyone to live in, and also for every race to live in. So thank you so much for your attention, and that is it for my presentation. Thank you.